Welcome back to another fitness update. So, this week we've already covered the strength one. We've only had one for the week, and this is my second part for this week after Australia Day. So, I will be covering the strength and TABATA sessions, and I hope that you sit through and see what we've been up to. All right, so strength session for the 30th of January. This was a tough one, and it may have been because I was attempting to push myself a bit harder, but all the same, pretty tough. Sweat my bum off and struggling through some of these sets. So today's setup was basically two groups of exercises. There were 6 exercises in each pod, and each pod had basically 2 loops or laps that you went around on it. The exercises in there were only like 8 to 10 reps each, but I tried to push myself and challenge myself with some of those weights, and definitely feeling it now. And at the time, it was a struggle. So we'll start off with pod 1. So 6 exercises, 8 to 10 reps each, and then 2 loops of that pod. The first one was just barbell squats. So again, just the Olympic bar across your shoulders. What weight did I have up to? I think I went up to like 25 plus another 10, 35 each side, 70, I don't know. Let's call it 90. 90 kilo squats. I need to push myself a bit more because I can do them 8 to 10 reps. 90 kilos for me, that was starting to fatigue a bit, but I can definitely do heavier. So have to up my game next time. The next one was a bench press. So I did up my game on this one, which was great. So I started off with two 22.5 kilo ones, I think. So 22.5 or 22.5 kilo dumbbells, go down, typical bench press, and then just like try to pull your shoulders back and sit them in the sockets a bit. So I don't know, it activates different muscles. That's what Craig, our new trainer, was trying to demo. I should have listened better, but that's a fault of mine, right? Anyway, first set went through 22.5 kilos. Second loop around, I went up to 25 kilos. It felt decent, actually. It felt pretty good, and I was able to get through them. But yeah, that was good. I feel like I'm improving and upping the weight, so we'll see how we go next time. Maybe I'll start at 25, and I'll push myself up to I think they have 27 kilo ones. The 30 kilo and above all look super daunting, and I keep thinking to myself that it's getting to the weight of a small child on each arm once I get to there. So maybe I should just practice at home with my children. Just, one arm each. I don't know. Third exercise was a squat, press, and a kick. So they have these torsion bars, they call them, which are just these weighted straight bars, no weight plates or anything on them. They are thick though. They are thick bars, sometimes hard to hold. So have those that go up to about 20 kilos. I use the 20 kilo one, and you basically just hold it across, go into a squat, come back up, and as you come back up, you press up straight above you, back down into a squat. Yeah, it wasn't a terrible exercise, more aerobic for me, but being on the back of the first barbell squats, you start feeling it burning a bit. The next one after that was a seated cable high pull row. So that one sat on the ground, legs apart, and you had the rope in front of you on the cable machine, pull it, and then if this mic doesn't get out of the way, just pull it back, squeeze them with your shoulder blades to just below your chin, and then back out again. I can do fairly heavy weights of those now, so I enjoy those exercises because I'm trying to build up the weight I can do just so I can focus on getting through some monkey bars. Monkey bars at my age are the worst. So I'm just trying to build up all the muscles. Eventually I'll be able to do more than a handful of pull-ups, and once I can do a handful of pull-ups, that's when I'm hoping I can just do a whole set of monkey bars. But it's amazing how monkey bars just destroy me. Partly my hands. My hands can't deal with it, even though they've got calluses. It just hurts, fatigues really fast in my hands. And the other bit is my shoulders. My shoulders just don't like the swing and then lurch. So, I'll get there, but it's not going to be easy. Ah, come on, phone. Don't lock on me. I need to see these. All right, so the next exercise was they call it a tib bar. So for those that don't know, what can I pull this up? A tib bar I had never heard of until I started doing the gym at Luke's Fitness Boot Camp. Do I have this that I can pull up? Let's see if I can share this. Chrome. Where are you, Chrome? That's the one. Okay, so tib bar. That's them. So these things, can we go into tib bar? There's a tib bar guy. Go figure. What is this? Hey, tib bar guy. Like, you seem to have a lot more than just tib bars, so okay. Solo tib bar? Nah, don't want that. Where's like the double tib bars? Come on, you're the tib bar guy. Okay, let's go back. Tib bar. That. Whatever TAT equipment is, this is pretty much identical to what we have. Let's see if there's any better pictures. There we go. So the premise of the tib bar is that, as you can see here, you have your legs hanging off the end of the bench. Go away. About halfway up your leg. So your knee is protected, and it's just focusing on the calf muscles. And for me, it hits right in that top spot. Basically, you drop those, so you're pointing your toes out, and then you lift it back up. Let's see what the video shows, actually.
Tib bar raises.
Oh, that's not good. Get off full screen.
Protect your knees and boost ankle stability.
There you go.
Up,
look at that.
Hold for a second, then lower down with control. Simple, effective, and key for injury prevention.
Except it's like, I don't bend my knees like that. Maybe I need to. I have my knees and everything straight and flat. However, tib bars, the tib bar exercise, we were basically doing that until failure. So we had to just keep going until we just could not go any further. And yeah, the top of my calves, like the front of my leg near the shin, that's the bit that fatigues the quickest. My calves seem to be fine. But the front of my leg, like the shin splint sort of area, that hurts. So anyway, we did the tib bar till failure, and then the last exercise of that pod was a tire flip. So tire flip and then a double push-up. So, big truck tires, flip it over, then you stick your arms on the front of the tire, do double push-up, get up, flip again, and you just do that forward and back until you're back at the starting point. Good exercise. Very dependent for me on which tire I got, though, because there's varying sizes and only one big one. So the big one I felt was more of a challenge. The second round, that was occupied, so I had to jump on a slightly smaller one. But yeah, whatever. It was still good. 2 loops of that pod, and then we moved over to pod 2. Pod 2. Okay. So pod 2. Start off with a kneeling landmine one arm press. So I've spoken about those ground plates that you put those barbells in, and then you put weights on the end that you're close to. So you weighted it up, and then you brought up the bar to about so, and then you were doing like trying to keep it straight, I think, and like activating core and everything, and then just pressing up with one arm and back down, pressing up and back down. We were on one knee, one leg out in front, one knee on the ground, trying to push up from that seated, like kneeling position. And I gave myself too much credit, to be honest. So I was like, 15 kilos, I can do better than that. Tried to bang on, I think 20 or 25, and too much for me. Possibly because I already pushed myself on the bench press, but I tried to struggle through that best I could, and then just assisted my one arm with my other arm a little bit. So just trying to get through the sets. Rotated off that one onto a figure 8 sit-up. So we had these medicine balls. 8 to 10 kilos is what I was using. And basically you do it over your head, down onto the ground, bring it up, and then you lift your leg, thread it between, and then lift the other leg, thread it back between that. Not the easiest thing to do because they're basketball size balls, but got through it. Wasn't terrible, but it definitely started feeling the burn in my core and my abs close to the end of those. So I did push myself the other day on Tuesday with the ab exercises as well, because one day, it's every guy's wish to one day have a six-pack or something, right? At the moment, I feel more of a keg. So one day I'll get to that six-pack, maybe, hopefully. Moving on, we had a backward sled walk. So this one, do I have old mate? Oh, I have one of his arms. Do I have him? Hey, there he is. He's been working hard, obviously. He's been in better shape. There we go. Oh, here's his head. And I don't have a cup of coffee today for him to fall into, so fingers crossed. You know what? This is a distraction, but what is going on? Seems that he's lost his head. There's something in. Look at that. That'll go much easier now that there's a piece of metal off. I wonder where that came from. Where's your head, mate? Here's his head. All right, here we go. So he's back in action. He's feeling better than ever. What was I doing? Backwards sled walk. So we had a strap around our waist, and we attached it to one of those weighted sleds. I've shown those before as well. And essentially, old Reggie here. We've donned him old Reggie. So look at Reggie. Basically, you wanted to. He likes to split his legs open, so ignore that. I'll demo as best I could, but you were basically... come on. Aragorn, can you demo? No, Aragorn cannot demo better. He's feeling old himself. Oh no, that's okay. Okay, see, Aragorn. Bent legs, his legs are pretty stiff, and then you bend over like that, have the band around your waist, and then you wanted to take small steps back whilst bending over like that, and then just kind of see his foot like that. You want to put your foot on the ground and then push with your calves and legs whilst staying in a crouch. Hard to demonstrate, actually. Oh, here, one of Reggie's legs. Let's see if I can do it. So you're crouched like that, and then as you moved back, you had your foot on the ground and you kind of pushed out with that, and then switch the other leg over. If you're doing it right, it burns. It burns a lot, and it's quite a struggle. But it was good fun. And then once you got to the end of the sled walk, you just pushed it back. So got the strap off. Whatever the weight was, you just pushed at the sled to reset it. So that wasn't terrible, except we only had 3 sleds, so there was a bit of a wait for some of them. After that, we went to a weighted plate squat. What is it? Squat curl press. So just one of those weight plates, 25 kilos for me. Basically, just hold it in front of you, go down into a squat, tap one edge to the ground as you did the squat, bring it back up, so you curl it up into your chest, and then you press it up above your head. 8 to 10 reps of that, and then rotate off. So that wasn't too bad, actually. 25 kilos was the heaviest plate. I could probably get a slightly smaller plate on top, but it starts getting awkward and thick at that stage, so we'll see. Next one was a banded bird dog. So this one, do we have what's is bird dog an actual exercise name? An actual exercise name. Let's have a look. Bird dog. There we go. You can see it. This one, bird dogs aren't too bad, to be honest. So you just have one arm. Oh yeah, there you go. One arm out and the opposite leg out. So you're balancing and activating your core muscles as well. Once you the change to this one is that we had an elastic band at the front as well, so that we extended our arm, and as we pulled in our arm, we pulled in our leg up to our chest, the opposite leg, and then reset back out. So that was pretty good, just to add the extra component to it and like extra resistance as well. So I enjoyed it. And the last one was just a kettlebell side crunch. So holding one kettlebell, went for the heavy one, and you just kind of lower yourself to the side, holding the kettlebell close to your body. Try not to lean forward or have the kettlebell move forward either. So it's just straight down to the side and then back up, trying to target those side muscles there. That was it. 2 loops of each pod, and I went back and did an extra tire flip because I wanted to go back to the heavy one, and that was it for me. So just did some stretches, some cool down, and that was done. And anyone who's noticed, so this thing here, it's not feeling good. Australian weather on the weekend. Somehow I must have missed putting some sunscreen on there, so it's kind of starting to blister a bit. Not the most comfortable, but getting there. Send thoughts and prayers. Anyway, I'll be back soon with the Friday TABATA session. Alrighty, so Friday session TABATA. Today we had Craig step up and do his first solo one, to my knowledge. And so he went through and introduced all the exercises for today's high intensity one, and it was tough. It was tough. So Tabata is the I think it's 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off type one, and today's one we had 9 exercises that had 9 groups that had 2 exercises in each group. So you just went through and did the first exercise 20 seconds, 20-second rest, onto the second exercise 20 seconds, back and forth until I think it's 4 sets of each are done, and then it flips on and you walk over to the next exercise. So yeah, today's was more difficult than I expected, to be honest. So I don't know if my body was just not up to it or not feeling it. Even doing a warm-up exercise on the bike, first of all, like it was a struggle to get in the zone. So I'll cover the exercises in a moment, but big shout out to Craig. I know it is daunting going to a new workplace, and even though they're personal trainers, it's still a workplace, right? So you need to learn all the people's names, you need to get out in front of them, you need to demo stuff, and doing a good job, mate. Keep it up. So again, just for people not aware, Luke's Fitness Boot Camp in Golden Grove. Great place, great community, good trainers. Well, I'll say great trainers. Why not? I'm going 4 days a week now, doing their circuit-based classes and just trying to become a more fit and better person for the long run. Anyway, into the exercises. TABATA. Right, so exercise 1 was a ski ERG. So the ski machines, I've showed those previously. They are a bit of fun. So the ski action that people are aware of when you have the 2 poles and you're pushing down to get yourself moving, that's the simulated move that it's doing. just a cardio-based one. Lengthen out, pull down, push behind you. I'm pretty sure it's a whole body exercise. That was alternated with a farmer's carry. So we just had dumbbells and one in either arm. We just did a farmer's carry out the gate and back in within that 20-second period. And went for, obviously, heaviest weights you could do for that. I was doing 25 kilos each arm. I'll be happy with that for the time being. Normally, jerry cans, if you've done a full-size jerry can, they're about 20 kilos fully loaded up. So next time I have run out of fuel or I need to transport a jerry can to someone, I'll have 5 kilos of extra weight on either arm. Anyway, 20 seconds on, did the ski one, high intensity, go all out, 20-second rest, 20 seconds onto the farmer's carry, back and forth, set one, done. Wasn't terrible, to be honest. The ski one, I was getting up to fairly high RPM or whatever you call it on that one, and the farmer's carry was difficult, so 25 kilos each arm is heavy for me, but it wasn't the worst, so I probably could have gone higher, except that 20-second period feels like it caps how heavy you can go, because it's a bit of a slow slog the heavier weight you have. Group 2 was the weighted sled, so if you want, go look it up. Weighted sleds, they're a bit of fun. These ones were not heavily loaded up because, again, high intensity. So the intent was... they called it sled bounds. So instead of just like getting behind it and shortening your steps for a heavy weight and just pushing the sled, you're trying to do bigger, longer bounds off your legs. So consider no sled in front of you. Oh, hang on. Reggie can show you. So instead of just like bending over and pushing slowly like this, you're trying to like power off one leg and do wider jumps as you're going. Okay, Reggie's maybe not the best demo for this one. He would have... Ooh, there goes his head. So don't be like Reggie. Keep your head on when you're doing this. But it's basically single leg thrust, jump forward onto the next leg whilst pushing their weighted sled. So that wasn't actually too bad. So consider you watch the Winter Olympics and you see the sled teams, how they get like the momentum and they start bounding off when they first get the sled going. Similar to that, except you're solo and you have a weighted sled and it's indoors and there's no snow and there's no ice. Get me? Cool. Second exercise from that was a split squat. So initially I was doing the technique wrong. There were the vertical leap step things. You're supposed to like single leg squat. How do I... Actually, Reggie, even though I'm not going to go grab his head, Reggie can possibly demo again for me. Let's see. Reggie, let's go. So, okay. Taking Reggie's arms off, now he's just a torso and legs. So, there's a step in front. You're lunging out like this, up onto the step, and then you're kind of going over that leg, and you're supposed to be moving your knee over your foot, so more like that, and the back leg behind you, and then push off the bent leg back up to a stance, and then switch legs from there. That wasn't a terrible demo. Good work, Reg. So that wasn't terrible. Started fatiguing on my leg fairly quick because, again, single leg ones. I did enjoy the stretch when I was doing it incorrectly, though. So I was stretching out my hip initially because I wasn't doing it like bringing my knee over my foot. Once I started bringing my knee over my foot better, it was more like a single-legged squat or single-legged lunge squat thing. Anyway, moving on. Number 3 was a combo of those like battle ropes, gym ropes, and a dead hang. So the battle ropes I've demoed before. I've showed you what they're like. Big, thick ropes. And you just went 20 seconds high intensity. So you grab the ropes, you're banging them out for 20 seconds. exhausted, 20-second rest or walk as you go to the next exercise. And it was a dead hang, which is consider monkey bars or whatever gym bars are. Jump up, just hanging from 2. Not all the way down because you don't want to like just screw your ligaments or anything like that. But, controlled hang. And that's supposed to lengthen out muscles and body bits and all that. But it doesn't work for me. I've been carrying this like back muscle thing for a while. And I've seen videos on Instagram of people hanging there, and you can see them lengthening out as like their body's just like stretching. Not for me. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like everything's like I hang there and everything's like. And even when I try to relax stuff, maybe the 20 seconds isn't good, but I try to do that as a stretch as well. See if I can just lengthen out these sore muscle bits that I've been carrying for a while, yet to have a positive effect. But I'll keep it up. Consistency, right? Next set was split jumps. So these were consider going into a lunge, and then there's these jumping lunges where you push off the ground and you switch legs in the middle of the jump. It was those split jump lunge things, but it was supposed to be for height. So you focused on more power as you went up, switch legs, back down, power up again, so you get some decent height. I was going okay, except I fatigued really quickly before the end of that 20 seconds. Yeah. There was a couple of moments where my legs just didn't want to hold me up, so I almost fell face first, but I didn't. Winning. Those were combined with hip raises, so similar exercise to what I did at the strength ones actually, but higher intensity and tempo. So onto a bench, you grab the back of the bench behind your head, and you lift your legs up and then push your hips up in the air, and then hips back down, lower the legs. High intensity though, so bam, 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 bam. So those combinations, they were, that was difficult. That was a difficult one. So the hip raise ones, I think I've got the technique good now, and I really feel it pummeling into my abs and core area. So that's pretty good. But then combining it with that split jump bit, fun. Number 5. I feel like I'm just like dawdling through this list at the moment. So number 5 was a combo bear crawl crab walk and a what is that? It's a standing hip things. Oh, give me a second. What is that? Hip flexors. Okay. So I know the exercise, I just didn't know what they were calling it. So the first one, bear crawl crab walk. They set up a square just marked out by cones. It wasn't very big. Consider, I do need to get my measurements right so I can split up what meters is to feet and things like that. What is? Hang on. This is something I better pull up, because I'll try to be consistent with just sharing what each of these things are. Where's my screen? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look at that. Straight up. That's a first. Okay. So, what is it? Meters to... It already knows what I'm looking for. So, let me think. It was about 2 by 2, I think. It might have been 3 by 3. Let's say 2 meters. Oh, actually, what is... So, 3.2 feet. If I go 2 meters, 6.5 feet. All right. Okay, I can attempt to do that. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, consider it was maybe 6.5 to 7 feet, or 2 by 2 meters, something close to that. And essentially, you're on all fours, feet and hands, and you're just doing the quick move. Oh, I just realized I can see my dog in the background. She's hiding underneath the table. Yeah, she does not exercise enough. I wish I could bring her to the gym, actually. That'd be good. So, anyway, all fours, and you're just moving forward, high pace, up to the first cone. Once you get to the first cone, you're going sideways in like a crab walk. So, I may have gotten it wrong, but I was mixing it up actually, to be honest. So when I was up the front, I was possibly going across. No, I think I was just shuffling my hands back and forth as a crab one. I wasn't very good at it, and then you go backwards, bear crawl, and then shuffle the other direction as a crab crawl, and you do that as long as or as quickly as you can and as many like laps as you can during that 20 seconds. Then 20-second rest, back onto those hip flexors, which is they had a little raised platform made of just weight plates. You had one leg off it, one leg on it. You had a pole in the middle of the weight plates if you needed some balance. And you had your foot through a triangle. Oh, what is that triangle actually? Let's bring up. What is it? Triangle weight? That's not. Wait, let's do gym. Sometimes it's like talking to an AI. You just have to get the search stuff going properly. Let's see. Nope. Images? Nope. Sort of like that, but not quite. These ones. Whatever those are, what are you? So they have a handle on each corner, and I don't actually know what they're called. These sort of ones, but that's pretty funky actually. The ones that we have are only on these they only have handles. So that bit, I don't know what that little softy bit is there, but we don't have them at the gym. These neoprene covered ones as well. That's exactly what we have. We have various other weights though in different colors. So these ones, consider you're on these weight plates, you stick your foot through this gap and you're doing a knee thrust. So bringing your knee up and thrusting it forward whilst you're maintaining balance with one foot, and you are holding this pole in the middle if you need to for balance as well. So again, thrusting them up, kneeing the air in front of you, and bringing it back down in control. So again, rotated that off with the bear crawl crab walk, and that was that set. Now, this next one was a bit of a pain. Coiling Bosu push-ups, and they were combined with a Viking pullover. Viking pullover I like because the name is wicked. Okay, number 6, coiling Bosu push-ups. So these Bosu pads, man, I'm going to share my screen again. Let's see, Bosu pads. These things, I'm finally showing everyone a picture. So as you can see, they have like exercise ball bottom and like a hard top on top. Is there anything on? Here we go. We can see what the top typically looks like. The ones that we have little handle slots as well. So they're handy if you're doing an exercise like we did today, which is you go into a push-up stance holding the pad. You rotate it. So one hand is at like, consider 3 o'clock, and the other one's at, is it 8? 8-ish o'clock? Something like that. No, 3 o'clock is there. Sounds like 2 o'clock. Anyway, no, 3 is, yeah, damn clocks. Okay, so you just have it parallel like that, and then you do a push-up, and then you push up with like good control, bringing your elbow in as well. Those ones are always harder. Flare your elbow out, it tends to do different muscles and it's easier. And then once you did one, you just kind of, as you pushed up, you're supposed to push up with power, and then you flip it over to the other side like that, and then bring it down, push up with power and flip. Very difficult for me to do. I stacked it onto the Bosu pad a couple of times. Combined with that was a kind of funky exercise I hadn't seen before. don't know if I was doing it right. So we had some sledgehammers, and there were some other like weighted big ball things. I'm going to look what they are actually, because they were pretty funky. I kind of thought that they remind me of some weapons I've seen in some computer games from like, if anyone's played Dynasty Warriors, like a big metal club thing. That was gym equipment metal club. Let's see what it has. Let's see. No, 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 no. Oh, they had one of those like little blackjack sort of things, but which are weighted ones, so they're kind of cool. Look at that. That's cool. What is this? These things. What are they? Steel mace. Let's see what. Oh, perfect. Look at these. They're so funky. They look like actual weapons. So anyway, the exercise for the Viking one was, and again, I may have been doing it incorrectly, but you have it out. Well, I had it out on the ground. You have your stance. Depending on where you have your hands, creates more effort, and you bring it up in front of you, straight, as straight as I could go, and then as you're lifting it up and over, and then you dip it down behind your back, and then bring it up under control and slowly again and down back in front of you. And then obviously in the next set, you switch hands around and you did it the same again. It was pretty funky. That I think the exercises I've seen with those before have been quicker. So maybe I was supposed to do it quicker, but at the same time, I was afraid I'd probably clob someone in the head at the gym, to be honest. These have a bit of length to them, as you can see. Like, they're pretty lengthy. So, although look at him go. Look at him go. The one I used was not that sort of size, but that, you know, one day I'll aspire to that. One day, right? It's always one day. Anyway, that was kind of cool. I wouldn't mind trying some of the more high intensity ones with that, just to see if I can control the momentum. But yeah, that will come one day. I hadn't seen these in the gym, so they must be fairly new. Next one, number 7 was kettlebell swings with rotational hip touch. So that early lunge that I was talking about, or early split squat, similar to that for that hip touch. So I found that if I went into a lunge and I leaned my body over my knee, and then you're trying to move your elbow to the hip that's on the leg that's facing backwards or touch backwards. I think I may get that wrong. It wasn't bad once I got the technique right, though, so I could feel it in the proper areas, but holding that lunge after all of the exercises we'd already been through, that was tough. That rotated on with kettlebell swings. So kettlebell swings are pretty simple. You have a kettlebell held, you're holding a kettlebell in both hands, and you go into a squat, bring it down between your legs, and then you pull up the kettlebell in front of you as you thrust up with your legs, and then you kind of clench your butt and everything at the end of it. So you fling it up and under control, so you stop the momentum. You don't just let it fling up. You control all the way, and you kind of thrust hips, clench butt, and then bring it back down into a squat. Those are very tough exercises. And they're good because you can get some pretty high intensity with them, but they can wear you out pretty quick. Now, the rotational hip thing, what is it called? Rotational hinge, they called it. So I think I explained that, but rotated on between those ones. The next one, though, number 8, frog jumps and a low squat hip rotations. So frog jumps, they do destroy me. So I like to squat down. If anyone's seen the first X-Men movie, like 97 or whenever it came out, with the Toad dude in it, I hated that character. But the way he bounds between places. So squat down, hands between your legs, and then you just power up and you try to get more height than length. And that was the first exercise. So you're powering up, getting height, and you're just going across this space until the 20 seconds is up. That rotated on with the low hip or low squat hip rotations. So again, you just go into a low squat and you're trying to... Actually, Reggie might be good for this. No, his legs keep coming off. He's not very good at squatting. Look at that. Where's his flexibility? Consider maybe a sumo squat style. That felt easier for me. But as you do this, you rotate this leg down, touch the ground, rotate that foot, but I think keep that one steady. And then once that's up, you rotate that one down and bring it back up. It was tough to hold that. It was, again, fatigue was kicking in at that stage, but the rotation of your hip and the hip flexors really important. And I feel like when I don't do it, especially getting old, I start feeling it and I feel it tighten up, especially doing a desk job. So desk job people, try to get out there, even if you don't do a squat hold. That rotational thing is always a really good exercise that I've found. Even if you just build up to that, if you can't rotate it and touch the ground with your knee, really good to start that off from what I've heard. And, oh man, I got this phone just keeps locking on me. I can't remember what I've done. The last one was a pogos and a bent knee calf raise. So pogos was basically standing on one spot. I don't know if you're supposed to have your hands in your hips or something. And then similar to some African tribes, I think there's been videos of where they're just jumping on the spot and they're pretty much just using full just calf things to spring off the front of their foot. It was those sort of ones. My feet and heel at the moment are killing me, but they weren't too bad today. I was able to do some of those, but it's not a good exercise for me to put that weight and pressure on the back of the heel. That were rotated on with a bent knee calf raise. So essentially, Reggie will demo again. Reggie, you get into this phase, you bend your torso over a little bit just to try to get some balance, and then essentially you're just pushing up with your feet, and that's it on both sides. So Reggie's massive calves here, you get those by doing that exercise. So you're just focusing on keeping that squat and then lifting your whole body with just your calves and going up on your toes and then back down. Very good exercise. I didn't mind it at all, and I was able to, I feel like, do it properly and do it some justice. That was it. That was the session. That was the week. I hope you enjoy coming back and listening to these. Again, big shout out to the Luke's Fitness Bootcamp crew and all the people that come out and train with me. So these circuit sessions, 6:15, they're bloody good, to be honest. They are good, great sessions. I do like rotating between the strength sessions and the high intensity at the moment. I'm hoping that having an extra day compared to what I had last year before Christmas will really ramp things up and I'll start seeing more results, but time will tell. There's a lot of people in the gym that go for like 5 days a week or 5 days plus the Saturday sessions, which I can't even fathom at the moment. A lot of people in there working hard as well to get up and get fit, ready for like the Spartan races and True Grit that are coming up. So big shout out to them. Keep it up. You're doing good. I tried to do some monkey bars at the end of my session today just to see if I could. And again, I think my body's holding up okay, but my hands just, it's not even fatigue or anything in my hand. My hands are strong enough. It's just pain on the calluses I've formed during strength and weight exercises. So I don't know how you get over that, but I'll work on it, see where I go. Maybe it's just a matter of getting some gloves. If I had some gloves, would I be able to do some monkey bars? Interesting. Stay safe, look after yourselves, lift heavy things. As I always say, lift heavy things, get better, and just better yourself. So it is important that, especially us old people and parents, get out there and try to stay fit. set a precedent and, become that role model for kids as well if you have them. I'm really focused on being a good role model for my kids and making sure they have someone who they can look to that looks after their body, and having a physical representation of that will be great someday. So I can't wait to turn these dad bod man boobs and like this dad bod gut into more chiseled physique, but time will tell. Anyway, look after yourselves and I'll be back soon.
Waking up early, gotta lace those shoes tight. Every step's a battle, but I'm ready for the fight. Face in the mirror, seeing shadows of the past. But today I'm stronger, I'm rising up at last. With every heartbeat, I feel